Welcome back to another video. We're going to be showcasing the upcoming update for my realism-based FiveM server called Los Angeles Reality. So LA Reality is my take at a realistic economy FiveM server. I have played a handful of decent FiveM economy servers in my time, and in my experience, it's always been a less than ideal environment when it comes to the effort of roleplay demonstrated by players, and I want to create something that matches the feeling of reward from economy servers combined with the quality realistic roleplay from both law enforcement, civilians, and criminals in like a menu server environment with more unique scenes and unique characters. So we're going to be showing off some new, never before seen, incredible realistic features with the new Imperial CAD system, as well as unique scripts made from scratch, as well as various changes to pre-existing departments within the server and a complete graphical revamp of the city of Los Santos. So we released our alpha build a few months back and had an unfortunate falling out, which resulted in us having to rebuild the server. And without getting into all of that drama, the situation resulted in us losing our server files at the end of the day, and we were actually overall happy with the idea of starting fresh and building something more stable with less bugs and less issues. Over the last week or so, we've been building from the ground up to create something even better than what we had before, thanks to our talented development team. Huge shout out to them for helping me create something better than what we were working with before, and I am more than enthusiastic about what we have done here. I also want to shout out Imperial CAD as well as the director of Imperial Solutions for working with us to create the first ever version of Imperial CAD callout integration, which is something we are going to be showcasing here rather soon. If you haven't already heard of Imperial CAD, they are hands down the most realistic CAD system available on the market, and I highly recommend you check them out if you're looking for a good system to use with your community. Now, this right here is arguably my favorite change to the server so far that will be introduced. Our server is using LA Revo 2.0, a complete overhaul to the city of Los Santos. Because our server is based in Los Angeles, we wanted to ensure to capture that immersive feeling of realism that you wouldn't get otherwise in other servers. Now, this mod changes the buildings, overhauls textures, increases the graphical fidelity on roads and streets, and even adds in new buildings in the downtown area, giving it that authentic Los Angeles look. Now, we wanted to add LA Revo in our previous build, but unfortunately we just lacked the competent developers in order to build something like this. And now that we have those types of developers that can do this, we can bring Los Angeles to life. Our server now features a mod called Drive 5, which is a massive overhaul mod of local cars and traffic. It completely changes the handling on all of the local cars, making them feel heavier and more realistic compared to the gamey feel of base GTA. It also adds in new looking cars that you typically don't get to see on the roadways. We also wanted to make sure that we covered all areas of gameplay this time around, and we learned from our mistakes by ensuring that the criminals and civs had plenty of activities to do in game. Although we do strive for more scene-driven, authentic RP scenarios, we also want unique action-packed situations for our law enforcement officers to respond to. You'll notice a variety of new scripts in the server for criminals that vastly increases the roleplay potential. Although not all of our scripts will be built from the ground up, we are attempting to make some of the most realistic feeling criminal scripts that will make a massive difference when it comes to the experience you get on our server compared to others. You can expect house burglaries, custom store robberies, custom bank robberies, car boosting, custom shoplifting. Now, house burglaries in particular will be handled different compared to what you guys saw before. You will need to locate difficult to find items in order to conduct a house burglary. You'll find yourself facing a variety of difficult to navigate obstacles when you make your way into the home. However, you'll find that the burglary system here is much more advanced than the one we used previously. You'll also have the ability now to rob a store clerk at gunpoint, and this is by far much more realistic than your typical store robbery in other servers. You can be in and out of the store in a short short amount of time before the police even arrive, getting out with a good chunk of cash, just like you would in real life. However, when the police do arrive to the scene, they will be able to check the security footage, which displays your exact outfit in the form of a screenshot, and this allows the police the opportunity to locate you and make an arrest. Now, moving on, this script right here is the most realistic style of bank robbery script available, and it's all custom. Say goodbye to fancy gadgets and silly tools to hack into a bank. You can walk in, hold the employees at gunpoint, and get them to open the vault. Now, unfortunately, the script isn't fully functional and completed yet, but it will be available in future updates. This is just an example of what we're able to do here with custom scripts. And with that being said, we are dedicated to bring you guys authentic content this time around. And with this, we'd like to release a content update every Monday, which will feature something new for everyone to try out and enjoy. Moving on, law enforcement will be receiving an overhaul of their own features with a brand new station, new firearms, new fancy additions to uniforms, things of that nature. At the front lobby of the PD, civilians will now be able to apply for a firearms license, which will be completely automated, and it'll be accepted by a supervisor of the LAPD, and if it gets accepted, you will receive a firearms license regardless if you're in the server or not when that application is accepted. This allows us to free up officers from having to do desk duty and sit at the station, and also gives a level of convenience to players as well. The PD Armory now offers a handful of newly added realistic one-to-one firearms available within the LAPD, as well as some new tools like a med bag that can actually be deployed on the ground. You can get med supplies out of that med bag, which is really awesome. For those of you that haven't seen my initial FiveM video, our law enforcement here at LA Reality have some of the most high quality vehicles and uniforms available on the market. We are dedicated to giving law enforcement accurate gear and equipment across the board, and we are continuing to work with other developers to receive the most up-to-date realistic resources that are available. Okay, so this right here is the feature I am most excited to talk about. This is the Imperial CAD system fully working with an economy server framework. It logs player IDs and vehicle purchases, and even allows for locals to call 911, which gets sent to the CAD. This is something I've wanted for an extremely long time, and is a huge reason for the overall downtime with the server. PS Dispatch is what we were using previously, and it is such a pain to deal with, and it is far from realistic, and we can finally have a local 911 call integration with the absolute most realistic CAD system available here on the market. And I want to showcase a few examples of how this works. Now, as a civilian or a criminal, if you brandish a firearm out in public in front of a local, there is a chance that they will call the police on you. They will even play an animation and actually seem like they're calling the cops. Now, one cool thing with this feature is that if you kill the local that called 911 on you, you can prevent the call from going through to police. You have to be careful though when this occurs, because another local that may have witnessed your call may also call 911 on that additional crime that you just committed. All of these calls that you're seeing here have a percentage chance, and not all witnesses will call 911. This has integration for shots fired as well. There's also a cooldown, so you don't have to worry about your CAD system being flooded with calls like crazy. There are various call outs for a bunch of different crimes, including silent alarms for banks, stores, burglaries, things like that, and this script will continue to be worked on with additional features being added. This integration right here makes for an incredibly authentic experience for both law enforcement and criminals. Now, finally, of course, we didn't forget about fire and EMS. We know that certain departments get less attention than others, and we want to make sure we do right this time around by delivering a quality experience for all. LAFD will receive new scripts as well as new uniforms and additional updates in the future. Players that are interested in doing towing will also have a new script as well, which is much better than the one we were using before. We want to make sure that this really does hold up to the high quality standards that we are looking for in terms of roleplay, script quality, and just overall gameplay experience. I do want to make it clear though that this isn't a finished product that you're seeing here, and we will be working working to make additional changes over time to better the experience. Make sure to head over to the LA Reality Discord and apply if you haven't already. The link will be down below in the description to our Discord. Make sure you check out Imperial CAD as well. I'll have their link down below in the description too. Thank you guys so much for sticking to the end of the video. Let me know what you think down below in the comments. Thank you guys again, and we'll see you in the next video.